Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a Veve Omi update video. Earth 2 as well. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down as well. And then become a member. Raythax.eth main name. This is not financial advice. So we have a couple things going on today. We'll start off with Earth 2. Shane had mentioned yesterday, heads up to ensure you collect your ether over the next 8 days. It did start yesterday, saying last year some accounts experienced lower than usual ether spawn rates on their properties due to an updated transition into fractional ether spawnings and some other related changes. Many properties received the correct ether spawn, but over the last 8-day period, some received less than usual. I recently tasked one of our senior devs to write a script that will appropriately compensate any missed ether for all properties that missed out. We can deal with fairly big data and high volume of daily transactions, so there is a level of complexity writing with scripts, even though it sounds simple. The script will execute over the next 8 days, 1 day for each. Some players experienced the lower spawn rate. You may or may not notice an increase in ether spawn over the next 8 days, depending on whether your property missed out late last year. We're drawing close to the first day now. Again, that had happened yesterday. Having processed 2.75 million from 3 million records so far, basically just making sure you collect your ether over the next 8 days. I had a lot of people already come up to me and say like, hey, I had a lot more ether, and obviously you can transform that into essence. If you have about, let's say 3,700 ether, you'll get like 240-ish essence, give or take. And on top of that, you can make it, okay, 370 ether, you'll get 24 essence, that type of deal. Math is pretty simple. So anyway, Shane says the Earth 2 CMs will arrange for a broader reminder to be sent out via our socials, but just wanted to give a heads up here when I had a spare moment. Internally, we're making good progress with required adjustments for rating, and we're still pushing very hard. Super pumped for that. All right, now to check on the market and how Omi's been doing. The market was pretty red today. Bitcoin, pretty much all of the top 10 and all of the top 20 were down, kind of bringing Omi down with it. Although Omi was the underperformer out of everyone, down about 4.6%. And even in the markets, over in the stock market, things were not looking so hot. S&P down 0.75, Dow down 0.30, and the Nasdaq down 1.19. It had a really good day yesterday, so this is the come down. Things can't go up forever. What goes up must come down. EV Digital Collectibles, though, they had posted, if you can see here, this is Dean Winchester from Supernatural. And I was like, Dean, is that something they were doing just because of the smirk and the gift that, or is that something that they are posting because there's something that they're posting because they're teasing maybe possible Supernatural drop? I'd be pretty happy with it. Shout out to Zach Keeley, someone that I had served with. He will be on the podcast. Was supposed to be today, but he had his pipes froze, so that might be in a couple of days. We have Wallace Cotton Jr. saying, my thought process was about to snag a Woody, but compared to the 15,000 editions that Woody has, he compared it to the 2,500 editions that Mysterio has, and said it was a no-brainer. Woody's a common, Mysterio's a rare, and Mysterio was 10 gems cheaper. So this is how a good amount of people think. Again, this is not everyone, but this is just a couple of people saying, okay, there's less editions, it's cheaper, and it is a higher rarity, and that's what people will go to. Popularity aside, popularity be damned. For those of you that did not notice on the community update, we had Mitch happens to have the exact process for what you have to do a Hyoruken over in Street Fighter. And we do have Street Fighter, and people were wondering if this was a tease, and David Yu says, shh, because he's hinting that it is a tease, that we might get that at some point. I'm hoping this year, but it might not happen until after we get the Veveverse. Who knows? David is a fan of the Scrooge McDuck, the Money Duck. This did sell out. So this will, and the only thing that I think is under, I think that both the common and the uncommon are under. The rare, ultra rare, and secret rare obviously well over. Secret rare over $100. So again, this sold out. So we made about 100K on that. Made about 75,000 on the comic we got 2 days ago. So they've been doing pretty good, selling a lot of things out. We'll see what happens tomorrow. That was like not tomorrow. It'll be the 5th. The 5th is when that comes out. People were complaining just some more things about the logo, saying that, hey, I have the old school Veve logo tattooed on my arm. What does this mean? What do I do? And David just says, that means you're a real OG. I do not have a old school Veve logo tattooed on me, but I totally would. I totally would. In fact, I might at some point. I'll keep y'all posted. A lot of these transactions on February 2nd, minus $33, $33, $33, $35, $31, $30. What are they? Okay, so those are me going and buying a couple of sub 100 Marvel Mighties, you might see, hey, Chavez, why are you flooring like 12 of your Lady Deadpools? And it's like, okay, well, I spent about $200-ish on sub 100 Mighties. Some of them even were Lady Deadpool, and I was like, okay, I just need to recoup some of those gems that were spent, and that's the reason why. But there are deals everywhere. Somebody had a comment, they had a Todd McFarlane. It was the number 56. This is not my purchase, by the way. It was somebody else's. I won't say who. They had bought this for $4,400. Remember when like the Todd floor was $14,000? I think a sub 100 Todd McFarlane at $4,400 is silly. I think that is very, very silly. Anyway, that's just my opinion on that. Moving on, we do have Sarah Austin saying Bitcoin is almost up 50% year to date. Is genuine crypto volatility coming back? What do you think? And I'm pretty bullish on that as well. Another thing I'm bullish on, which other people for whatever reason are really crapping on, is Oswald. I believe that the scarcity of Oswald compared to, let's say, Steamboat Willie, and again, I understand 100% that Steamboat Willie is more recognizable. Older people 100% know, oh, that's Steamboat Willie. Before this app, if you're under the age of 35 and under, comment down below. If you were to see a picture of Steamboat Willie, would you have called him Steamboat Willie, or would you have just called him Mickey Mouse? I think you probably would have just called him Mickey Mouse. Again, I should probably just do a poll on that. But either way, I like Oswald. I would rather have, what is it? Let's say you have one ultra rare Steamboat Willie or X amount of secret rare Oswalds. I'd rather have a secret rare Oswald. I do not have the set. I only have the rare. But that being said, we have Mr. V over on Twitter saying the first collectible I've accumulated in many, many months. Glad to own 1% of the supply. The supply is 4,927, and this mad lad owns 50 of them. Absolute mad lad. Shout out to him. Moving on. This is kind of just confirming everything. People were talking about how Veve was similar to Vevo. Vevo is that music conglomerate over on YouTube, and saying like, hey, why do we have to do this? And Alex says that we didn't really have a choice, saying sometimes change is hard, but keeping the old logo was not an option. Hopefully it grows on you. And David also says there's a story behind everything we do at Veve, giving us a heart. And I also think that this is something where they definitely had this tested. They definitely had focus groups. They definitely had the approval of some of their licensors. They didn't just do this willy-nilly, in my opinion. Gavin Weeks, the co-founder of and a dev at Colex, had said the speculation around a Veve acquisition is wild. I don't think anyone's buying Veve right now. Again, they're not a publicly traded company. No one can just buy shares in the open market. Somebody has to make an offer, and David and Dan have to accept. I don't think they would accept offers right now. But again, it's just my opinion. Speaking of updates and stuff, people are wondering why there wasn't really so much of a Omi or a Komi update or Veveverse update in their community update that they had. Reese said because it was a Veve update, not Veveverse or Komi. When there are solid updates to share on those fronts, we'll put them out to keep everyone in the loop. We had somebody asking, just set expectations, are there things happening on the OUP front in the foreseeable future? Reese said there are indeed. Mitch and Nestor have been hard at work building and realigning the team so that there's a dedicated squad to build out all the functionality. These things always take a little while to come together, but it's all happening. When I have an expected ETA on the first feature rollout, I'll let you guys know. Dan Lee asked a question saying, is Veveverse still on track with the Anaheim timelines, mainly Veveverse release around Q1? And Reese had responded, indeed, sir. As far as I know, the first phase should land anyway, which is the home space / new showroom that was displayed at DCon. I believe Dan will be putting out some more in-depth content walkthroughs between now and then, which should help showcase everything as well. So shout out to Reese for keeping us in the loop. Also shout out to Corey, Old Rhubarb, for being able to finally having some leeway with these videos that he's been putting out for the new comics. Really awesome informational videos. A lot of fun times. Also, be advised, there's some clowns over on the Twitter saying Veve isn't going to win. They're just trying to make as much money as they can while they can, basically calling Veve a rug. Don't listen to those people. It doesn't matter who it comes from. Obviously false, obviously, to what we know. Moving on, Paul Barron Network says the Immutable X Passport is about to onboard millions of gamers. They had a show with Tiger Wilson. Tiger Wilson now works with them, so shout out to him for that. And yeah, super exciting. There's a reason why Immutable X has been pumping. Also, Veve on their LinkedIn says, see all 35 employees on LinkedIn. That is the people that they are showing. There might be other people that they're not showing there. And they also, I don't know how many of these people are devs, not including the devs that they had contracted out. So when Reese said that they were looking to double the amount of devs, we're not 100% sure how many of those there are, if they were using the ones that they themselves had in-house, or they were also planning to double the amount, including the ones that are contracted out. We had someone on my stream yesterday said, just finished the account merge, should be completed in 24 hours. If you're in Canada, this one is for you. If you, and this is, okay, I'll say this, and I'll leave the other thing for another time, maybe a live stream. We had Foster Hilt, who lives in Canada, say like, hey, I just typed in DC NFTs into Google on an incognito tab, and they happen to find, oh, what did they find? They found that you could go and you could find some Veve sponsored ads. Like if you type in DC NFTs, Veve comes up. I thought that was really cool. And also, guys, you know, in Canada, be careful with one is really cold, and the government is passing some really, really crazy stuff over there. As I said, just be careful. We have a market update from Veveverse, the active wallets. We have 30,000 active wallets in the month of January. That was down about 6% from December of last year, but it is still 30,000 active wallets over the month. The market trades, we had 161,000 market trades, down about 4%. The market buyers were about 14,000, again, down about 16%. Market sellers kind of went sideways, but that remained at about 18,000. The tokens minted, we had 109,000 tokens minted. Most of those, I think, sold out. And then the actual minters, we had 23,000, which is down almost 6% from. So a lot of stuff was down, but despite it being down, we still had 30,000 active wallets. Still a lot of stuff minted. In my opinion, that's fairly bullish, especially for the first part of the year. A lot of people are really going and kind of recovering, recouping those funds that they spent on Christmas. And then also you have a, it is tax season again. You know, people do have to save and pay for taxes. Morgan Stanley, or Dodger Profits reports that Morgan Stanley does expect the Fed is done with rate hikes, lowers targets for inflation, and treasury yields should be good for tech stocks, multiple expansion, and crypto. Also just in, YouTuber Logan Paul sued in a class action lawsuit alleging his crypto NFT project CryptoZoo was a rug pull. If you were affected, you can get in on that class action lawsuit. Just go to Watch Your Guru and then go and click and see how you can go and be a part of it. Also in the macro, just in, Russia's largest bank, Sberbank, expects to launch Ethereum-based DeFi platform by May. Also good for crypto, in my opinion. Also, if you want to go and try to get a free Landbots from Virtua, I kind of partnered with them on this particular tweet. If you go to my most recent Twitter feed and you go and click on Randy Chavez, they will be given away on 6 February at 5 p.m. UTC. It is basically, they're worth 120 ADA. There's 1,666 miner bots loaded with utility. They're ready to be minted. All you have to do is follow me, Landbots Virtua, like and retweet the post, and tag 3 friends, and 3 winners will be announced on the 5th. That is what they look like. I think they're kind of cute, so shout out to them. In other Veve news, we have finally, I don't want to say finally, because I don't know how many people were really expecting this, but when you take a look at a lot of their stuff on their minted page, on their Medium articles, it'll actually say now the first available public mint for said comic book or said collectible. First available public mint for the comic that we had today is 186. So if you are lucky enough to get that, then you get the first one minted. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. I love you guys. Goodbye. Meow, 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 meow.